The moment NTA UGC NET announced that 9th of September is going to be your re-examination of English. Now the thing is that every student is asking one single thing, क्या PYQs repeat होंगे या फिर question change होंगे? The thing is that NTA never goes out of its core syllabus and the foundational text. Okay, it can make they can make typographical errors, they can make spelling errors, they can make punctuation errors, but yes, they don't go out of syllabus. Things to remember. Okay, so if you see the past year trends of question that I have analyzed from 2020 to 2025, I have seen that 40% of the themes are directly repeated. Post-colonial theory, British drama, literary theory, literary criticism, cultural studies, you name it and you see in the question paper. So hey all the future assistant professors, welcome back to English by Pooja Singh. Here we are going to see the most repeated PYQs from 2020 to 2025 without any delay. Let's get started. If you do not have any time, if you have not revised anything, please, I would request you to solve PYQs. They are going to give you your marks, and I will tell you, please take this as an opportunity and make sure that this time you clear your UGC NET JRF. All the best, and without any delay, let's get started. Most repeated PYQs re-exam 2026. Now you would be saying, ma'am, why your voice is hoarse? So because this is I'm shooting this video at 3:33 a.m. in the morning. So yes, this is a Brahm Muhurat period, and if you want to learn any complex concept theory, I would request, please try learning in the morning. This is the best time to learn anything. And if you have watched my old videos, I have told you Brahma time is the best time. In the morning, you are fresh, you can do anything you want to do in life. And yes, that's it. So before starting this is a revision series. Okay, please try to take a copy and pen with you and mark whatever I am saying. Okay, I would be saying a lot of things, you have to mark it down. Okay, it's not just the question and answer, it will be a lot of more things. Okay, whatever I'll be mentioning, what you have to study, please mention that also. It is very, very, very important. Okay, so the very first question is that, which among the following is not a state of human mental disposition as poised by Jacques Lacan? The historical order, the imaginary order, the symbolic order, the real. What is the correct answer? So for this, what you have to study? You have to study Jacques Lacan. He is very important and you cannot miss him. So the correct answer would be the historical order, not an imaginary, not symbolic, and not real. For this, you have to know all the concepts. So what you are going to do, you are going to read the post-structuralist concept. Okay, so Jacques Lacan is a key figure in post-structuralist psychoanalysis. Proposed that the human psyche is structured by three interrelated orders or the mental disposition. So again, it is very important. Okay, then move forward to the next question. The poetic line, there is one great society alone on earth, the novel living and the novel dead appear in which poem? Biography, literature, the prelude, excursion, or lyrical ballads? Now, being an English literature student, it is not possible that you haven't heard of the prelude. Okay, so this is the most important poem. If you haven't studied it yet, please read. These all four are very important: biography, literature, the prelude, excursion, lyrical ballads, and these are the most repeated poems. This have come like plus 50 times if you analyze the PYQs. Okay, now what is the prelude? Okay, this is the line from William Wordsworth autobiographical epic poem quote. Okay, and it appears in the book 6, Cambridge and the Alps, and in this expresses belief in spiritual fellowship that transcends boundary of life and death, particularly among those with the noble spirit. So this is very important. You have to know, just not the question and answer, but also what is important, why it is important. Now they can ask, like, in which book, like what was the book number? So you can write book 6 in the Cambridge and Alf. This line is particularly discussed. Okay, now moving forward to question number 3. What does an eponymous character means? Now you should be knowing all types of characters, flat characters, round characters. Okay, so these are so many characters are there, you need to understand. So an eponymous character means that his or her name given to the title of the work. This is very important. Okay, why? Suppose, for example, you must have seen Jane Austen works Emma, and the protagonist name was Emma. So when you see giving one's name to something, that becomes the you can see the Hamlet, you can see Othello also. So this is an eponymous character gives the title. Now the next question is that arrange the following Indian writers in the correct chronological order of their birth. So we see in this net that chronological questions are the toughest one. Why? Because we don't know the exact birth date, we don't know the exact publication date, we don't know the exact death date. Okay. What we can do here is we can probabilize, we can, guess according to their age, according to their period they belong to. Okay, so yes, I know this is tough, but what we can do is we can practice, and by practice you can understand, yes, he is somewhere between, or he is somewhere between this period. Okay, so R.K. Narayan, Raja Rao, Sri Aurobindo, K.S. and Sarojini Naidu, these all are very famous writers. Okay, you should be knowing them there by birth, because yes, they are important, we should be knowing it. So I will not waste much of time, we will directly go to the answer. Sri Aurobindo 1872, Sarojini Naidu 1879, then K.S. Venkatamani 1891, R.K. Narayan 1906, and Raja Rao 1908, and then CEDAB. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 5. Who among the following did not belong to angry young men generation of British playwright or novelist? Now, why I have included this question? Because you have to learn all the movements. Okay. Movements is very important. It tells you why why one period was ahead of other period, and what was the, in PhD we generally find the gap, what was a gap that the earlier movement could not do, that's why they are taking it again. So who did not belong to? So J.B. Priestley did not belongs to. Amos Kingsley, John Osborne and Colin Wilson were belongs to angry young men. So you have to find this. Okay. Now moving forward to, if you see Colin Wilson, the outsider, they are very well all key figures in the movement. So he is just not associated with angry young men of the 1950s. Okay. Lucky Jim, Look Back into Anger, these all works are most celebrated works. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 6. Which among the following are not the genuine source of the sublime as cited by Longinus? Now again, if you have read nicely in your graduation and post-graduation, we have a chapter for this. Okay. Very clear sublimity means you should be having a noble thoughts. एक चोर का thought and एक जो judge है उसका thought में there will be huge differences of thoughts, how he will think and how she will think. Okay, so creation of imaginative feelings, of course there will be there. The command of full-blooded and robust ideas, no. How you are going to eliminate it? You are going to eliminate it through the extremes. Okay, जहां आपको extremes देखे उसको आप eliminate कर देना. that is what I follow. Okay, nobility of spontaneity, no. General effect of dignity and elevation, yes. So the correct answer will be A and D, option number 2. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 7. What was the immediate motivation of Philip Sidney to write apology for poetry as a defense of poetry? Now if you will say, ma'am, repeated PYQs का कोई काम नहीं होता, तो if you will see, it is repeated since 2012 to 2026, and I have seen every year 1 or 2 questions from this particular Philip Sidney or apology for poetry in different patterns. So if you are missing out PYQs, you are missing out your NET JRF. Okay. So what is that? So why he initiated? Because the correct answer is Attack on Poetry in the School of Abuse by Stephen Gosson. I have explained in my detailed video. You can go and check it. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 8. Which statements are true about Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales? Now, will Canterbury Tales will change? Will the stories will change? Will Geoffrey Chaucer will change? No, they are not going to change. This is the fictional thing. This is the reality. This is the thing that will not going to change. The history of English literature is not going to change. So if you're thinking PYQs or the questions we are going to change, no, the patterns will change. The story will remain same. So you have to read it from this. Okay. Now what is the correct statement? Now whenever choosing about the correct statement, if you have not studied even the summary of that particular, it becomes very difficult. So I would request you, if you haven't read the Canterbury Tales, please go and watch my video in which I have explained the most important Canterbury Tales PYQs. This is my way of teaching. I do teach through PYQs. Important book, PYQs. Important chapter, PYQs. So go and watch that. I've explained that. You will understand it, okay? So here the general prologue describes the meeting of 29 pilgrims in the Tabard Inn. Yes. Now this Tabard Inn also has been in the PYQ. Then the Parsons Tales in the introduction. No. Seven virtues. No, they did not talk about the seven virtues. The Canterbury Tale is written in prose and verses of various meter. Yes, it is correct. Only 23 pilgrims tell stories and there are only 24 stories altogether. Yes, this is correct. A lot of people get confused. You don't have to get confused. Okay. The prioress tells about the murder of a mother by child. No, this is wrong. So the correct answer is A, C and D. Okay. Now again the chronological question. So I told you this chronological question is the toughest question if you do not have the practice of PYQ. Okay. So correct chronological order of the publication. Now Pygmalion, Man and the Superman, Arms and the Man, too true to be good, Saint Joanne. Now how you are going to do it? If you know, no. If you don't know, you cannot make guesses. Here your guess does not work. Okay. Here your practice works. So Pygmalion 1913, then it was published in 1913, Man and Superman 1903, Arms and the Men 1894, Saint Joanne 1923, Too Good True to be True 1932. So the first will be Arms and the Men here. The correct option will be CBAED. Okay, you can take a screenshot of it. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 10. Alexander Pope's famous quote, "A little knowledge is a dangerous thing," appears in which or one of the following works? Essay on Criticism, The Dunciad, Essay on Man, The Rape of the Lock. So it is Essay on Criticism. Now, Alexander Pope's, you take any year question and you will be seeing Alexander Pope. Yes, questions do repeat. And these all four are very important. If you have not studied anything about this, please read it. Please have a summary of it. It is very important, these four, okay? Now moving forward to question number 11. Who among the following was not associated with the Lake School of Poetry? So William Blake was not associated. Now S.T. Coleridge, Robert Southey and William Wordsworth, they all are very important. Please read about him. I am bringing all the important things only. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 12. In his work of the postmodern condition, Jean-Francois Lyotard announced the eclipse of all grand narratives and sought to declare the death of what? So he sought the declared of the death of the classical socialism. Why? Because he wanted to not celebrate the grand narratives but also celebrate the all meta narratives, everything. Why to celebrate everything? So he says that it is the incredulity toward meta narratives or the grand narratives. They are overarching universal theories that claim to explain all history and society. So he just wanted to the classical socialism that talks about the human in emancipation as examples of this collapsing ideologies. He wanted to talk about all the little things in life. He says why you can only think same and I cannot be think that same way. So he is very clear in his mind. Now question number 13. Who among the following called John Dryden as the father of English criticism and affirmed that modern English prose began with Dryden's essay or dramatic poesy? It is none other than the Samuel Johnson. So now you will be getting a lot of critics one. Okay. You will get a lot of quotations. This time, this is my prediction. You will get a lot of quotation. You will get a lot of critics. You will get a lot of assertion and reason questions. So be ready for that. And a lot of chronological also. So philosophers and theorists, so according to their birth. So I have picked out the toughest and the most repeated. So Simon de Beauvoir, Walter Benjamin, Jean Baudrillard, Mikhail Bakhtin, Roland Barthes. So I'll get to the direct answer. Walter Benjamin 1892, Mikhail Bakhtin 1895, Simon de Beauvoir 1900, Second Sex, Roland Barthes, Death of Author 1950, and Jean Baudrillard 1929. So this is very important. Okay. Now moving forward, MLA 9th edition is the new crush. Is the new crush of NTA. They ask a lot of about the core. Before PhD, they expect a student to get to know everything about the PhD. Okay. So here are the things that you should be knowing how it goes in the MLA handbook. MLA handbook is a thick book of like 300 plus pages. Okay. and it is, very in depth. Okay, so for the sake of UGC NET, how you are going to write it? So MLA ninth header, how you are going to work cited entry? The very first will be author, then the title of the source, then the title of the container, then the publisher and the publication date. Okay, so the correct order will be like this. Now moving forward to question number 16. Which of the following works is written by Joseph Conrad? Now this is the easiest one which I could pick, and this is from 2020 to 2025. So this is written by Tales of Unrest is written by Joseph Conrad. Okay. Then I'll tell you the rest of the works. The Madonna of the Future and the Other Tales is written by Henry James. All the works is written by Henry James. Okay. So don't get confused in that. Now moving forward to question 17. Who said that Shakespeare was the Homer, father of our dramatic poets? Johnson was the Virgil and the pattern of elaborate writing. Matthew and all, John Dryden, Samuel Johnson, Ben Jonson. So the correct answer is John Dryden. Now, if you tell me that ki ye Matthew and all, John Dryden, Samuel Johnson or Ben Jonson, they have not repeated in any PYQs. See, they are either they will be in question or in the options, but they will be there. So this is the thing which you need to understand. These are the most famous and most repeated. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 18 again. Chronological order of what? Post-colonial criticism. See? In other words, post-colonial literary theories. Okay, so you have to choose a chronological order. So let's come. In other words, is written by Gayatri Spivak in 1987. The Nation and Narration. This has come like 30 plus times in PYQs I have seen, and in the recent years. Modernity at Large, Cultural Dimension of Globalization. This is by a new writer. I don't know him. The Protestant Ethnic and the Spirit of Capitalism. Max Weber. Post-colonial literary study, first 30 years. So this is the thing that you need to understand. You can take a screenshot of it so that you will understand it. Now moving forward to question number 19. Who has coined the term ontotheology? It is by Jack Derrida. Okay. Now there will always be one new term. There will be always one new term. So you don't have to be panic at that stage. There are 20 plus questions that will make you feel panic, but you don't have to. That is given just to raise the bar. Identify the set of poems written by W.B. Yeats. Now you will say, isn't it easy question? But you have to know all the poems he has written. Okay, so please W.B. Yeats का जितना भी poem है आप उसको at least just read the names. At least you should be knowing the names. That will give you 2 marks. So the set of poem that is written is No Second Troy, Lapis Lazuli, Easter 1916, and When You Are Old. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 21. This question was again repeated in 2025, in 2026. That Ferdinand de Saussure, what is the minimum number of necessary to complete the speaking circuit? It requires 2. Okay, then this is also very much repeated. Correct match of play and playwright. So this was written, you have to check which is the correct match. So it is only Hali, Rabindranath Tagore, no, Tiger Claw, correct. The Future of Krishna, correct. And the Hayavadana Girish Karnad. So B, C and E. Okay. B is by, you can take a screenshot of it. Okay. Again, arrange the following novels in the chronological order as per their publication. So what you have to do, you have to take a screenshot of it and you have to remember it. Okay. So I'll be explaining. I will not be wasting your time. So Two Leaves and a Bird, it is by Mulkraj Anand 1937. So Many Hungers, Bhavani Bhattacharya 1947. Waiting for Mahatma. R.K. Narayan. For R.K. Narayan, please read all the plays and the works and the novels he have written, because their work always comes in the chronology. Okay. Raja Rao, very famous. Again, read all the names of the work. A Bend in the Ganges, Manohar. Again, it is all, every time it has come in the match of the following or the correct choose. Okay. So take a screenshot of it. Okay. Identify the correct chronological of the publication years again. So again, what you have to do, again, you have to take a screenshot of it so that it will not take much of your time. Characteristics of Men, Manners, Opinion and Times by Anthony Ashley Cooper. Advancement of Learning, Francis Bacon. Like in 2026, we saw a lot of questions from particularly this. Inquiry into the original of our idea, beauty and virtue, Francis Hudson. 1725. The Plan of Dictionary of the English Language, Samuel Johnson. 1747. So this is the thing that you have to understand it, that yes, PYQs do repeat. Okay. Now question number 25. Which of the following schools of criticism has strongly opposed formalism in both its European and American varieties, rejecting the view that there is a sharp, definable division between ordinary and the literary language? Okay, so Marxism, reader response criticism, speech act theory, new historicism, and the post-colonial. This is very important. Please read all the definitions, two authors, and their two important book, at least of all. Okay, so here the correct answer is B, C and D. B, C and D. These are the things in reader response criticism, speech act and new historicism. Ordinary and literary language में differences होते हैं. Okay, now moving forward to question 26. Now you have to be very cautious of opening lines and closing lines of a poem. Okay, so that you don't miss 2 marks. Identify the poem in which these lines occur. My baby so beautiful, it thrills my heart with tender gladness, thus to look at thee. So it was the from Frost at Midnight by S.T. Coleridge. Okay. Now again, see, we just had advancement of learning from different years, and this question have already been repeated. So yes, questions do repeat. Francis Bacon के आपके works को करने हैं, so we'll just go to the answer. We'll not waste much time. Advancement of Learning was published in 1605. Novum Organum 1620. Henry VII 1622. De Aguamentis Secantium 1623. The New Atlantis was published in 1627. Okay. Then this was very recent. Again, I have seen a lot of time repetition of this particular. International Phonetic Alphabet was developed in which year? It was developed in 1888. Okay. Now question number 29. D.H. Lawrence, always you will see the order, chronological order. This year also in 2026 we saw that also. So White Peacock 1911, Tree Passer 1912, Sunslavers 1913, Rainbow 1915. Then you have to know the characters also. Not a character is a character. You have to pay focus on the question as well. So William Congreve's A Way of the World, who is not a character. So who is not a Peachum is not a character. Then there is nothing outside the text is a statement by whom? Everybody should know this. This is none other than by Jacques Derrida. People often confuse with Roland Barthes, but it is not. Author is dead and that is other thing. Okay. Moving forward to question number 32. Which of the following knowledge did not employ stream of consciousness? Again, this was in 2026 also and repeated. So Graham Greene, rest, Virginia Woolf, James Joyce and Dorothy Richardson were in the pioneer of the stream of consciousness technique. Okay. Shakespeare Much Ado About Nothing is what? It is a romantic tragedy. So whenever you are reading any novel, any poem, any work, you should be knowing what genre it is written in. Okay. Question number 34. Again, publication. Okay. So we'll jump in the direct answer. So Essay of Dramatic Poesy by John Dryden in 1668. Lives of Poet by Samuel Johnson by this particular area. Lyrical Ballads 1800. Culture Anarchy 1869. Rooms of One's Own by Virginia 1929. Again, this is very important. All these are very important. If you have not read anything, read these only. Okay. 7 Types of Ambiguity was published in 1930. Okay. It was by William Empson. The name of the goddess in Kantapura. So they can ask the, very direct type also and this indirect type of question also. Okay. So since Kantapura is very famous and inke publication date has been asked 1938, who has written it, protagonist name. Now they are asking the goddess name also. So you must be aware of it. Kenchama. Okay. Purda is a collection of poems by Purda is a collection of poems by who? It is none other by Imtiaz Dharkar. You must, if you are passionate about reading something real poetry, I would recommend please read Imtiaz Dharkar. She has written wonderfully and literally when I have read these poems, oh my god, awesome. Okay, you should read it. Okay. Then the name of the father is a term made famous by, it is famous by Jacques Lacan. So you will be seeing different varieties. Direct question, indirect question, deep down question, minutest question. You don't have to be very, panic. You have to think, analyze. Okay. Now moving forward to question number 39. Noam Chomsky is known for his generative grammar. Okay. Who among the following is an Australian Aboriginal poet? Always they ask one question from this nationality. So it is none other than the Garth Walker. Francis Bacon, the advancement of learning was dedicated to. See, in this particular class, we saw 3 questions. So it was dedicated to King James first. Okay. Adam in Adam Bede was who of George Eliot is a carpenter. So they will be asking, if you have just read even summary, that will help. Know the major characters, know the themes. Okay, that will solve your problem. Question number 43. A.K. Ramanujan, the famous Indian English poet, was also a so nationality से हमेशा question आता है. So he was also a translator and teacher at the University of Chicago. Okay, so you have to know the thing also. You can take a screenshot of it. Okay, then For the Unfallen is a book of poems written by Geoffrey Hill. Again, Ted Hughes, Sylvia Plath, Geoffrey Hill, A.E. Houseman, most important poets. Okay. Then question number 45. Francis Bacon's The Advancement of Learning attempted to draw a distinction between 2 kinds of truth, which are these. Now, can you see 4 questions from one particular thing can be made like this? So that is why I have showed it to you. Okay. So this is the theological truth and the scientific truth, which appears to be crucial for the advocating freedom and the development of scientific inquiry. He was the one when he was talking about it. Now, which of the following 2 poems are linked with each other in terms of forms? So, yes, it is the Upon Appleton Hawks and To Penhurst. These are the both example of country house poems on it. Now there will be companion poems. Okay, so you have to remember that companion poems are there. Do let me know in the comment section the example of companion poems. Okay, then accordance to with their birth. So George Herbert, Edmund Spencer. So Edmund Spencer 1552, Philip Sidney 1554, John Donne 1572, George Herbert 1593, Oliver Goldsmith 1730. So you have to remember like that. You have to take a screenshot of it. Then Dr. Primrose is a character in the Vicar of Wakefield. Okay, written by Oliver Goldsmith. Then according to Stuart Hall, the concept played a seminal role in cultural studies. Again, cultural studies is very important. If you haven't studied anything, I would prefer to please read cultural study. Hegemony is most important thing. How we give our instinct, we give our consent and the use of it. Okay, how it is used, and Tony Gramsci, very important. Okay, now choose the correct chronology sequence in which the followings were written. Again, the most important thing. So Hero and Leander 1590 by Marlowe, Mask of Comus by Milton 1634, Lycidas by Milton 1637, Paradise Lost 1667, and The Wasteland. So what you have to do is you have to solve PYQs. I have solved from 2012 to 2026. Okay, revise and read. That's all you have to do. All the best. So please don't take stress. Revise and revise. Solve PYQs as many as you can. And if you have not watched my PYQ series, please go and watch that. I have student 12 to 2026. So do not miss any chance, and all the best. And if you found this video helpful, do not forget to like, share with your friends those are preparing for UGC NET. And if you have not subscribed it yet, please do subscribe, because I am going to make this most repeated PYQ series. If you want part 2, please do let me know in the comment section. Yes ma'am, we want part 2. And if you have any confusion, do let me know in the comment section. Till then, keep learning, keep shining. All the best.